Again, the audience for this presentation is for the providers of the developmental services groups. And it's to give you an overview of your different choices for direct billing. With that being said, I am going to turn this over to Alyssa.
All right. So welcome everybody. Again, this is for the MMIS claim submission overview for developmental services. And a lot of you have either already filled out an application or are getting ready to. And we're here to just go over the different benefits of the portal and either submitting with as a trading partner self or as a billing with a billing agent. So that's what we're going to be going over in the slides. Okay.
And one more time, I'm just going to remind you all that we are being recorded and carry on.
Okay. All right. So what are your options with billing to New Hampshire Medicaid? There are 4 options. Your first option would be submitting paper claims, a CMS 1500 or HCFA 1500 insurance claim form. That's the standard terminology for them. The other option would be utilizing a third-party trading partner or a billing agent. Your third option would be to become a trading partner self utilizing vendor software, and you would be uploading an X12 batch file to MMIS manually. And your fourth option would be to utilize the MMIS web portal for claim entry. You wouldn't be uploading files, you would be hand keying claims. Does anybody have any questions right now before we go to the next slide? Just take a look. Not yet. Okay. Okay. So with submitting paper claims to Medicaid, there's a few things to know. To complete your claim, there are certain fields that are required. To go over those fields, they are in the CFI billing manual, which we've linked here for you. And that manual can be found on the MMIS billing manuals page. But the CFI billing manual goes over every single required field. Some of the basic requirements would be the patient's Medicaid ID number, their address, their gender, their date of birth. A diagnosis code is always required on a claim. Your procedure codes, your dates of service, units, and total charges. Also, other requirements would be your billing provider ID. So again, the manual would cover all of those necessary fields for you. Claims must be submitted on an original red and white CMS 1500. They cannot be printed off from the internet and mailed to Conduent. They have to be true red and white 1500 forms, which you would have to purchase. The data on the claim must be aligned properly. It can't be out of place. A lot of the times we see claims come in that are misaligned, and sometimes when that happens, those claims have to be mailed back to the provider. So just letting you know that. One thing with paper claims is if you send a paper claim, you cannot track the claim on the portal. You would have to call our call center to check status. Our call center number is right here, the 1-866-291-1674. You would call them and use your Medicaid ID number and HIPAA verify over the phone before you could get any claim information. And all completed claims must be mailed to the Conduent Claims Unit. Our address is right here. It's P.O. Box 2003, Concord, New Hampshire 03301. Does anybody have any questions on the claims form? Nope. Okay. So your second option would be utilizing a third-party trading partner, or also known as a billing agent or clearinghouse. So if a trading partner billing agent will be submitting claims on your behalf, the third party must be enrolled as a trading partner. And these documents would be required, the billing agent agreement and an ERA application indicating the transactions for submitting and receiving. The trading partner must be linked to your New Hampshire Medicaid ID or application. If they are not, the files will not sync. The trading partner billing agent must complete EDI testing. And if you're wondering what EDI means, that it does stand for electronic data interchange. Okay, does anybody have any questions here? Okay, right. Yep, and Brian did answer Jeff's question. Yes, it would be one claim per client. And your third option would be utilizing vendor software, or also known as becoming a trading partner self. So the requirements for submitting an X12 file yourself as a trading partner self. The provider must have vendor software that can create an X12 file. The provider must be enrolled as a trading partner self and have portal access. The user must have the EDI role added to their user ID. And the trading partner must complete testing with our EDI team before submitting files as well. Okay, so I'll stop right here. We have another question.
Could you read off the question, Alyssa, before
Yep.
you answer it? Thanks.
So do we have the option to continue area agencies for billing? If so, what are the fees associated with that?
Do you mind if I grab this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
You will have the ability to use the trading, if the area agency does sign up to become a trading partner, then you can absolutely utilize them. We will need the area agencies to apply to become a trading partner, and we will process that. We will be contacting the area agencies to help them submit their applications, because they have to be submitted by themselves, not by others. And as for what the fees associated are, those are determined by you and the business. That's the area agency or whichever trading partner that you have. That's a separate contract you have with your trading partner, and the state and conduit are not involved in those fees. Okay.
And before we move on to the next slide, when you do become a trading partner, you will have your own separate login, which you can utilize. But you can also submit your files under your original, once your 236 developmental services application is approved, you'll receive a login just for that. You can upload your X12 files under that, but then you'll also have a separate login too as a trading partner, which you can do that under as well. But one of the benefits of being a trading partner self is you can just utilize the provider login to do that as well. A signature page is required, and an ERA application is also required to become a trading partner self. And at the end of the slide, there will be a bunch of links with all the documentation needed to enroll as a trading partner self. the ERA application, the ERA agreement, all of that all those important documents. Okay. So next, the last one would be utilizing the MMIS portal for claims submission. So the requirements to submit claims on the portal would be that you must be enrolled as a New Hampshire Medicaid provider. You will receive portal access upon approval of your application. So you'll get a welcome letter from New Hampshire Medicaid with your 7-digit Medicaid ID number. In addition to that, you'll get a separate letter with your user ID and a separate letter with your temporary password. So you'll get a total, I believe, of 3 documents in the mail. You can also gain portal access by submitting the New Hampshire MMIS portal registration form through an encrypted email to our provider relations email, which is listed right here. That would be if you had lost access. If you're initially enrolled and approved and you eventually had lost access, sometimes that happens. To regain it, you would fill out a web portal registration form. So it can be emailed or it can be faxed to our provider relations fax, and somebody from provider maintenance will complete that and get back to you I think it's within 24 hours, and they will give you your user ID and a temporary password so you can get back in.
Just to clarify, it's not 24 hours.
It's okay.
But we'll get back to you as soon as possible. No more than 3 days.
Oh, okay. We're usually pretty good at it though, within a day or 2 at the most.
Yes, we're usually right on.
Yeah.
Right on it, but
yeah.
Don't want to set up expectations.
Right. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. The user must have a claims role added to their user ID. So when you are approved and you're set up as an organization admin, you will have the ability to go into your user ID and give yourself certain roles, like the claims role, to view service authorizations, checking eligibility. We're going to show you that though. We're going to show you the different roles that you'll be able to have in the portal. Just to go over your user ID, if you don't log in after 30 days, your account will go inactive, and after the 60th day, it will be removed. So we recommend that you set a reminder just to log in every month, but I suspect if you're going to be using the portal to bill your claims, you're probably going to be in there probably every day or at least weekly. So another benefit about the portal is that you can create templates to bill your claims off of, so you don't have to continuously fill in the same information over and over again. You can create templates that are specific to members. You can create templates that are specific to services. It can be very handy. All right, so let's go to the MMIS. So when you log in, you will come to your provider message center. Any remits that are populated will appear here. So if you had submitted claims the week prior and they paid, denied, or suspended, they will reflect here on your remittance advice. This is a test example, so a lot of the information here is not real. Otherwise, if it was real, we wouldn't be able to show you. So this is what a remit looks like. These would be in process claims because, again, the information that we're submitting through our test environment just isn't allowing the claims to fully process right now. But if they were to be paid, you would see a to be paid status here, or I'm sorry, a paid status here, and it would list out all of your paid claims. If you had denials, there would be a separate section for denials, and it would go over your denied claims, and any claims that are suspended would show up in this in process field, or if they're not finalized yet because they're to be paid, then they would also populate here. If they're to be paid, it means that they weren't submitted right at the cutoff, and they need to wait until the next financial cycle to populate on your remit to show as paid. So this is
May I
where you would,
interject there?
yes.
Everybody will have access to their RAs through the portal, regardless of how you sign up to do your billing. So everybody will get a copy in their portal for their remits, and it'll be in a PDF document.
Right. Okay. So let's just show you submitting a claim from a template. I have a template already made. Just clicking search, and it's pulling up the one template that I have. So I've already filled out a template with all of the provider billing information. Basic information required would be NPI, tax ID, and your service address. Next would be the member information. I did a template based off of a member. You don't have to do that. You can leave the member information blank if you'd like to. The next section would be the claim data. So you would indicate your place of service, your diagnosis code. You have to have at least one diagnosis code. A diagnosis code is required on a claim. You may have more than one. And then last would be your line information, your dates of service, place of service, procedure code, total charges, and your number of units. So I'm going to go ahead and save my claim. And then from here, I'm going to click Submit Claim. You'll see this claim will, sorry, Kathleen.
Well, I was just going to say, this is one of our lower environments. This is not our production system, so it takes a little bit longer for this to process. It doesn't take that long on the production side. So when you're doing this, it'll be a lot quicker.
Right, and
Although that is pretty quick.
because this is just a test environment, again, the codes right now are not set up. They will be, but anything we test or submit right now is going to show as suspended because there are some things that are required. A service authorization, part of the reason why this claim is denying is because it needs a service auth, and we cannot do one right now at this time. But if you were to submit your claim, you would get your claim information tab right here. And it would tell you your claim status. So again, this one's suspended, but when you're submitting, you're most likely going to be getting to be paid statuses. If you do get a suspended status, all of the reasons why your claim would be suspended would populate here. These are your EOB descriptions, which also populate on your remit as well. So these codes all correlate to a description, and they give you an idea as to why your claim is suspended or denied. It will tell you the total charges you submitted and the to be paid amount. So if you're submitting total charges for $50 and it was to be paid, it would say to be paid $50 right here. If this claim was to be denied and there was an error on it that you realized you could just fix, you could click this Create Claim from Process Claim button down on the bottom, and it would bring you back into the same claim, and you would just go back in to the area that you needed to fix it, and then click Submit Claim, and then it would just reprocess. Let's just see if anybody has any questions. I think so. Okay, let's get
There are a
that.
couple of questions in the chat. So one is, there separate claims required for each type of service for a client?
Yes, it's
Go ahead.
it is recommended to bill your services separately, but it depends on if there are separate services that were approved on one authorization. You could then bill those combined services as long as they all were granted on the same authorization. If you have two separate service authorizations with two separate codes and modifiers, those claims should be split so the claim can look at the appropriate authorization that it needs to process against.
Okay. The other question is, what is the frequency of the billing? Is this weekly, monthly, etc. for each client? Brian's answered that question with, you can bill for multiple dates of services on the claim, so you can do daily, weekly, and monthly. That's whenever you wish to do your billing, you can do your billing.
Yep.
And I just want to remind everybody, this is an overview. We are going to be offering in the future, once you've determined what type of billing you're going to do, how you're going to do your billing. We will, if you're going to be doing it on the portals, we'll have additional training, in-depth training on how to set up your templates, and those will be closer to when we go live for your billing in July. So we'll do some training prior to that, so you have refreshed, detailed knowledge. This is an overview to show you, you can do this through MMIS, get adjudication immediately, and address any issues that you might need to address on your claims.
Yes. Oh, and that just reminded me too, another benefit, one of the benefits of the MMIS portal is that everything that you submit on the portal is real time. So the moment you click submit claim and you get that TCN confirmation page, the claim has entered the system. And if you need to adjust the claim too, you can do adjustments as well. All right. So next is, sorry about that. So we went over the demonstration, sorry. I didn't.
Did anybody else, were there any other questions in regards to the demonstration and the information that has been shared so far?
Will the demonstration be posted for a later date to go over with additional staff?
Yes, that'll be done through through the state and the BDS website, I believe.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yep. So again, our MMIS link, we put that here. When you do have access, you would navigate to our homepage, and there's a sign-in tab on the main page. You would click your provider tab, providers, and then you would be prompted to enter in your user ID and then your password.
Awesome. Thank you. And I don't know if this question's already been asked. Sorry to jump in. I don't know if any of you folks have experience with MIMS through Maine. Is it going to kind of be a similar portal as that for billing?
We're not, we don't know what the MMIS for main care would look like, but yeah,
It sounds pretty similar. Okay.
probably.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks.
Okay. So we wanted to go over as well member eligibility. Member eligibility is important. You always want to confirm eligibility prior to providing services. So to check eligibility, you would go to the MMIS portal and you would check that there. In order to do that, again, you would have to be an enrolled provider with portal access. To log into your user ID and navigate to the member drop-down list and select check eligibility is how you would start that process. So again, just going back, here's your home page. You have your member tab, and then you would just click your check eligibility. In order to pull the data, you need at least 3 of the 4 required information filled out, and that is all listed here. You at least need a member ID, date of birth, first name or last name. And when you do that, I have a test example. A little bit slow. If the member is eligible, you will get your confirmation number. It will be green, and it will indicate the member's benefit plan, what it is. If they have an MCO, that would also populate too. You may see other benefit plans here, but your main concern would be the Medicaid benefit plan. Okay. So other ways you can check eligibility would be to call our call center through and utilize the AVR. When you call the call center, you're automatically prompted to the AVR. So the AVR is our automated voice response. The telephone number is 1-866-291-1674. And you can also call the local number, the 603-223-4774 number. To check through the AVR, you would need your 7-digit New Hampshire Medicaid ID number, as well as your 6-digit PIN, which would be mailed to you upon your approval of enrollment, and you would also need your member information as well. So you can also contact our New Hampshire Medicaid Relations call center as well. They would HIPAA verify with you. You would need to provide your Medicaid ID number. You would need to provide another identifier, NPI number or tax ID, and you would need to have that member information available as well for the representative to pull up the information. I think you have a limit of 5 members per call that you can call and check on at a time. So that can always be handy as well, just to know in case you have a lot of members you need to check for at once. You may also check eligibility through your trading partner or billing agent as well, but that would be depending on the transactions you have set up with them. So you would just need to make sure that you have that all squared away during your enrollment. Does anybody have any questions here? Okay, not yet.
I'm just going to pop in a little reminder
Sure.
again. If you feel you would like further or you need additional information after this presentation, we're asking that you do put in the chat your group name, and if you've already sent in your enrollment, include the ATN, the application tracking number that you submitted, if you have it handy, your contact name and your contact information, so a telephone number and email, so that we can contact you directly in the next few weeks to help confirm everything up with you. Okay, so just a reminder, some people may have joined after we started. Please put that in that chat.
And I just put the template, I just put the little template in there for everybody as well.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so next, just some important information. All right. So again, checking eligibility prior to providing services is important. Again, keeping your user ID from going inactive is also important too. So after 30 days of not logging in, your account will go inactive and it will be removed after 60. And this is for access to the MMIS portal. When billing a claim, it must match your service authorization. So if you receive a service authorization from DHHS in paper form or electronically, you want to save that for reference because you will want that when you're billing. Sometimes the modifiers can be different, and if one modifier is off on your claim because it doesn't match your service authorization, that will deny your claim. Timely filing. So timely filing is 1 year from the date of service. So you just want to make sure that you're submitting your claim within that year, and if you do not, you will receive a timely filing denial. You can appeal timely filing denials with a timely filing override form, which we have linked here for you. You can submit your claim on paper with this timely filing override form attached to it, as well as a remittance advice, a copy of your last remit. You would mail those to Conduent Claims Unit, and they will process them. All forms and information can be found on the MMIS Documents and Forms page. Let's see if I can just, I'll show you the main page. So this is our home page. This is what you would see prior to logging into the portal. Your documents would be listed under documentation and then documents and forms. And all necessary documents for enrollment are all listed here. And your timely filing override form would also be listed here as well. It's listed as the 957X override request. On this page, we also have our fee schedules posted. And this is our tab for billing manuals as well. And again, this is prior to logging into the portal. So once you're logged in, this wouldn't be here.
You have a different view.
Yeah. It would look like this.
Also, I want to just remind everyone, we have quite a few applications that we are processing and we're working on. There are still, if you have not submitted your enrollment to be a provider of developmental services groups, please get those applications in. And again, you go to that New Hampshire MMIS.nh.gov website that Alyssa showed you, and you can get your enrollment through there, do your enrollment. I think that's all I wanted to say about if you have not yet enrolled. Please do get that because we want to have everybody enrolled, their enrollment submitted by December 31st in order for the state to take care of all the business in the background that has to happen with service auths, et cetera. And July 1st, 2023 is when this is going to go live and you're going to be doing your billing. And of course, we're available for any assistance that you need. And as Alyssa has said, contact that call center and they can definitely help you with different things, your general questions, and we will be contacting you if you left the information in the chat, just to make sure that you're comfortable with where your enrollment is sitting now and reviewing all the information with you, getting your specialties identified, and make sure that you have EFT payments set up. If not already set up, we highly recommend that you do EFT payments.
We do.
And just go through. Some people have submitted their applications previously, just making sure, we'll refresh the information in that application on your behalf, because once you've submitted that application, there's no way for you to go back to that application to update it. There has to be some contact here with Conduit. So I just wanted to remind you of all that, or let you know of that. And if you have not yet applied, please go ahead and do so. And if you want to put your information in the chat and ask to get help with that application, we can take care of that with you as well.
Yes,
Back
we
to
could
you, Alyssa.
even do, if it is something that you want assistance with, we could do a Microsoft Teams meeting like we're doing right now and help walk you through the process of the enrollment. If it is daunting, we're definitely happy to help you. Okay. Any questions? I think so. Okay. All right. So again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to our call center. Here's the numbers for you to call. You can also email our New Hampshire Provider Relations email as well. And Brian and I would be your field reps, and this is our information listed for you. And I don't know if you remember me talking about all the documents that we were going to provide for you, but here's that quick links reference page. This will link you right to the billing manuals page. I wouldn't worry about looking at this just yet, but it is good to have later on down the road. Your MMIS documents and forms page, your 837P companion guide, which goes over submitting EDI files and the different loops and segments that would be required for that. Your timely filing override form, the portal registration form, again, that's if you were to lose access, you could regain it this way. Billing agent agreement, and the electronic remittance advice application as well.
All right. So if there aren't any other questions, if there's questions, please ask it now. If not, we can end this informational session. You don't have to type them. You can just take yourself off mute and ask it. All right. Well, then, thank you everyone for attending. I hope we gave you the information that you're looking for. Again, we will be contacting you individually as well. And if you have any other questions that you want to bring up at that point, you perfectly can do so. All right. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you.